All right, good Thursday evening, everyone. Joe Martucci here. Thank you to everybody watching on your screens, wherever you are, whether it's Arizona, like where Linda is, or Cape May, where Ann is, or where Jamie is in EHT here. Appreciate everybody tuning in on our website and on our Facebook page and on my Facebook page here for, what is another snowstorm for us here along the shore and in South Jersey. So we had that snowstorm at the beginning of the month. We now have our snowstorm to end the month, and it has just been a wild run of winter weather here. So if you're a snow guy, if you're a snow gal, you're loving this pattern that we've been having. I've been loving it as well. So let's dive into it. We're going to talk about snowfall totals, of course. We're going to talk about coastal flooding. We're going to talk about the winds. We're going to talk about my snowfall probabilities, and we'll answer your questions as well here. And thank you to everybody again tuning in. So let's start off with these winter storm warnings, right? Impactful, hazardous kind of conditions are expected here. And we do have a winter storm warning in effect for Monmouth, Ocean, Eastern Burlington, Atlantic, and Cape May counties. Cumberland and places further to the west along the Turnpike Corridor are in a winter storm watch. And that's in effect also starting at 7 p.m. Now, a winter storm watch isn't less impactful than a warning. It just means that the National Weather Service isn't ready to say that, hey, this is going to be either a hazardous, dangerous storm, that would be a winter storm warning, or it's going to be a nuisance event, that would be a winter weather advisory. So a winter weather advisory is less impactful than a winter storm warning. So let's get into our storm checklist. You've probably been seeing me post this out over the past couple of days. We are now at the point where we're just tweaking from here until the storm starts. We got the information on what will fall. That's going to be almost all snow. We have the snow map for you. We did an update today. We talked about the timing. We have the coastal flooding, and we'll just tweak from here on out. Before we get into the rest of it, I should say, appreciate everybody tuning in. I know you have other options for weather. Appreciate you sticking with us at the press. I have some really, really cool news that I can't share just yet, but I will say, really cool news. It's happening. We have the Eagle has landed, as they say. We are going to be talking about some really cool equipment that is going to increase what you're seeing here fivefold by the time we get, I'm going to say, March. But hopefully we can get a little bit sooner. So some really cool stuff there. All right, let's get into our timeline here. Snow is going to begin 5 to 8 p.m. So during your commute, snow will start to fly. Snow will start to fly around here, but it's actually pretty light for the evening. It's not going to be until after midnight that it becomes heavier, and really not until early Saturday morning. Now, Saturday morning from, let's say, sunrise until about midday, that's the worst of the storm. Heavy snow at the shore, still significant snow inland, but not as heavy as it's going to be at the shore. And it's going to be blowing, and it's going to be drifting. The snow will start out as pretty wet, but then actually will turn pretty fluffy here. So it's going to be real, that kind of like powdery kind of snow as we get deeper into the morning. And then during the afternoon, it is going to take a while for it to clear our area completely. It is entirely possible that if you're watching here in Bridgeton, like Dawn is, that it's going to end at 1 o'clock. But if you're in Long Beach Island or Seaside Heights, Seaside Park, Toms River, might not be until 6 o'clock that it ends here. So it's a real takes a little bit for it to get out of here. So here are the impacts. Zone 1, 2, or 3. So depending on where you guys are, if you guys are in Bridgeton, I see Dwayne's tuning in from Bridgeton. Shout out to Bridgeton tonight. You're in Zone 2. Paul in Atlantic City, Zone 1. Jamie in EHT is Zone 1 as well. Pleasantville for summer, you're Zone 1 too. So if you're in the Zone 1 area, it's really, if you don't have to be on the roads, don't. If you're even thinking about being on the roads, don't. Let the emergency personnel stay on the roads, get where they need to be. If you're flying out of ACY on Saturday, I mean, I don't make the calls, but I think you're going to have a good amount of delays and maybe even cancellations for the day here. Tidal flooding, a moderate threat, and power outages as well, because winds will be whipping with this. And the combination of the snow falling as well as the winds, just blowing will create some concerns here. So let's get over to Zone 2, further west. Still going to have your hazardous driving. Don't go out if you don't have to. If you're flying out of Newark, Philadelphia, Trenton, there's going to be delays. I don't think it's going to be extremely significant, but there will be delays and you will have to wait at the airport for a while. Now, if your plane is leaving Saturday night, you could be okay. Even if it's leaving during the afternoon, I think we'll start to see those delays decrease at that point in time. Not as significant as what would happen at ACY here. And I'll tell you what, before we get into really the crux of the forecast here, if you have any Facebook groups you're part of, Facebook communities, I try to get out and share as much as I can. I couldn't get to everywhere before this, but share them. So if you're in a community group, share it on by, see what they have to say as well here. Here's a look at what's happening tonight. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 20s for lows. That's actually seasonable for this time of the year, even though most of our lows have been in the teens recently. Southwest winds 4 to 8 miles an hour. We go into Friday, a little bit of sunshine to start off your day. Going to be a good day to go for a run, good day for a walk, good day to prep for this storm. Temperatures will be in the mid-30s for highs, but then the snow starts during the evening commute. And now we'll get into the crux of this forecast here. I always love showing this. This is our fight for snow. It's comparing the computer models and putting them into two camps. There's a higher impact camp. There's a lower impact camp. But there's not a camp that says we're not going to see anything. And, you know, I never really thought that we were going to see nothing here. But the potential for a lower impact versus a higher impact was definitely there. The majority of the computer models that we look at are in the camp of snow zone for us here. Higher impact event that we're talking about Friday night into Saturday morning. The GFS model and the Euro model have been battling at this for 2 days here. European model is putting out some crazy high numbers. GFS was staying on the more conservative side, and that was because the GFS had this low pressure system further away from us and also moving a little bit quicker. European model was the opposite, moving slower and staying closer to us, tossing a lot of snow our way. This low pressure system is actually going to be the equivalent of most Category 1 hurricanes and maybe even a Category 2 hurricane. That's not super unusual, but it is the sign of a strong nor'easter. And somewhere in the Northeast is going to see 2 feet of snow or 30 inches of snow. Not going to be here, but it could be the Twin Forks, Long Island. It could be Rhode Island. Could be somewhere in eastern Massachusetts. Just to give you an idea of what's happening across the region. All right, so here we go. 4 o'clock on Friday. See a little bit of green there in New Jersey. You could start out as a few raindrops, but it's going to be snow. Now, this is actually from an Arctic cold front that's going to be passing through the area. That's going to bring snow in and of itself. But look what's happening towards the lower part of your screen. You see that big blob of green? Well, that's our coastal storm that's coming. Now, what's going to happen is they're going to link up, and snow is going to get heavier. So again, fairly light snow for the evening Friday night, heavier after midnight. Now we're ripping with snow. It's going to be coming down real good Saturday morning. See a lot of those darker blues in the shore counties. That continues as we go into the morning, continues into the midday. Winds will turn to the northwest, and we're really going to get that powdery snow. But here we go. 4 o'clock, again, dry in Millville, dry in Bridgeton, dry in Upper Deerfield, Stowe Creek's dry, Philly's dry, but still snowing good in Brick, still snowing good in Toms River. So that's what we have going on at 4 o'clock. 7 o'clock, I think this model's overdoing it a little bit. I think it's going to be drier over that point, but the point stands that, you know, it's going to take a while for this to get it cleared out. So now that we're talking about that, well, what are we talking about for our snow map here? So here we go. We'll sit on this for a little bit. Michelle Saxon says AC is getting 11 inches. That's in the realm of possibility with this snow map. 8 to 12 from Avalon over to Ocean View, over to Ocean City, and then pretty much Parkway on east from Summers Point all the way up to Toms River. And you see I extend that just into about Brick, and even if you want to go further north into Monmouth County, into Manasquan. The rest of the area, Cape May, Vineland, Bridgeton again, shout out Bridgeton, Hamilton, Jackson, 4 to 8 inches of snow. Now, this tells part of the story here. Got to look at the snow probabilities because there's a lot of dry air competing with a lot of moisture, and that's going to create a sharp precipitation gradient at some point. So this is our snow probability for that pink area. 8 to 12, 50% risk, right? Now, what do we have on either side? 20% risk, 4 to 8, 20% risk, 12 to 24. I'll update this Friday morning. Again, I like my 8 to 12, but you can see I don't really have a lean. I mean, I could lean a little bit lower, could lean a little bit higher, but I like 8 to 12. Go over to some other areas. Millville, Hamilton, Plumstead, Cape May. 60%, 4 to 8. So a little more confident on the snow map there. But if you notice here, I have 20%, 8 to 16 for you guys. So, I would probably lean higher of that 4 to 8 rather than lower to that 4 to 8. But still, 4 to 8 is the forecast. We will change this if I need to. I said yesterday when I dropped the snow map, and we were one of the first ones to do so. I don't always like being first, but I actually felt pretty good about dropping the snow map. Then that, this will change once or even twice. And a lot of meteorologists are going over the same thing right now. We're looking at data, we're interpreting it maybe a little bit differently, but this is going to be something where we're going to update it again here. So it's not unusual to see an update. It doesn't mean that the forecast is wrong. The forecast, and it's funny because, we'll say, is the forecast a boom or a bust? Well, if it didn't snow yet, it's not a boom or a bust yet. We're still forecasting for the storm here. So just to give you an idea, yes, this could change as we go into Friday. That doesn't mean that we're a bad forecaster or anything. The snow hasn't even started yet, but that's what we're looking at here. So, all right, let's look at our wind gusts here. So in the morning, it's going to be breezy. I think you'll see a little bit of blowing and drifting, but it's really the afternoon. That's the main story here. And I think from, Longport all the way up the coast, even into Sandy Hook, 50-mile-an-hour gusts is where we're going to top out sometime during the afternoon hours here. And then 40s for Galloway, Mays Landing, Ocean Acres and Stafford Township, Manchester, Jackson. With these kind of winds, again, the combination of the winds and the snow brings the potential for power outages. So charge up your batteries, charge up your devices, even while it's snowing here, because in case the power goes out, you want to make sure you're at least working with 100% on your laptop or on your phone or whatever have you here. And, you can keep the generator as well handy just in case. Not saying it's going to be widespread power outages, but something to pay attention to as well. Down small trees are possible. Large tree limbs are possible to go down. So that's what you have going on. Coastal flooding for the shore folks here. So, we're talking about Michelle in Atlantic City, Paul in Atlantic City here, Ann in Cape May. What can we see? I think we're catching a little bit of a break. Minor stage coastal flooding, not moderate. Moderate is what we had on January 3rd. This is minor stage. More of our nuisance flooding here that we see across the area. Delaware Bay could be flood-free the entire time. I think Ocean County, even Monmouth, sees a little bit of coastal flooding Sunday morning. But here's the thing. We have northeast winds that turn to the north and the northwest. Northeast winds, yes, onshore wind. But what's to our north and east, especially if you're in Ocean County, Long Island? You don't have a long fetch. You don't have a lot of water to draw from here. You're only drawing as far as Long Island. Whereas if you have a southeast wind, you're drawing for as far as the eye can see with water here. So a little bit different between northeast to southeast winds here. Here's a look at Cape May and what the flooding could look like on Saturday morning here. So the places in green mean the roads that are partially submerged in water here. So, granted, I know this is a little bit small. I can't read every street, but, and I'm even going to look in a little bit too. Congress Street, a little bit of water on the roads. A little bit of water on the roads in West Cape May, just on the other side of the park over there. Here's Atlantic City. Whitehorse Pike, Blackhorse Pike, you're going to see a lane closed during the early morning hours with that snow. If you don't have to be on the road, again, don't be on the road early Saturday morning. But places along Melrose Avenue, off the Whitehorse Pike, getting into Gardner's Basin, Bungalow Park, a little bit of flooding there. And then, Ventnor Heights, yes, but also Chelsea Heights is what I meant to say here. A little bit of water, so the typical spots. Seaside Heights. Here's Central Avenue. You make a left off of the bridge. You're going up. Some water on the roadways around Central Avenue and West Central Avenue. I don't think it's anything significant, but just a little bit of water. It's really, when you get over towards Bay Avenue and those places, Bay side of there along the Barnegat Bay, where you do see submerged water. So we are catching submerged roads. We are catching a break there. Here's our inland 7-day forecast, and we'll talk through this. And in the meanwhile, send me some questions here. Be happy to answer your questions about the rain, potential for rain, of course, the heavy snow, the winds, the coastal flooding. Oh my God, I have a flight on Saturday. Am I going to be okay? Those kind of things. Let me know. Be more than happy to answer them for you as we go through the 7-day. We'll talk about it after the 7-day forecast. So here we go. Saturday, cold day. I mean, we're not talking about the temperatures as much. I probably should. temperatures are going to be low 20s. And with the wind chills in the single digits for most of the day Saturday. So it's going to be a cold, snowy day here. I know that kind of sounds, a little bit obvious here, but, a lot of times we're talking about snow at 29 or 30 degrees, not 22, and it'll be in the teens during the afternoon. Lows will be around 10 Saturday night. Sunday, we're not melting anything at all here, even with a mostly sunny sky. Temperatures below freezing. It's another very cold night on Sunday night. Temps 10 degrees below average. Our last day of the month, Monday, now we're warming above freezing. Still below average, though. We're going to be below average for the month of January, and that's something we don't say that often here. Even with our updated climate averages that we had, don't say it that often. Going into Tuesday, now we're in the 40s, and we see those 50s on our Wednesday and Thursday. How about that? I mean, we have not seen many 50s this month, but as we go into February, not only 50s, but upper 50s for our Thursday. We'll come with some rain. We'll have plenty of time to talk about that. But if you don't like the winter weather, I have good news for you here at the end of the 7-day. So that's what we have going on. Again, more than happy to answer the questions that you guys have. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Go to our website, pressofac.com/weather if you're not on there already. We're talking about how to properly measure snow. We're talking about the difference between a watch, a warning, and an advisory. We're talking about the different stages of coastal flooding. So we got a lot of info there. Kelly in Memora says, are we going to get walloped in Memora? If you remember what happened on January 3rd, that Monday after New Year's Day, look for something very similar, Kelly. That's what we're talking about here. Let's see what other questions we have from you guys on Facebook. Again, appreciate everybody tuning on in. Oh, looks like we might have another question. Oh, no, that was just Susan saying hi, Denise. Looks like we have some friends tuning in here. All right. Well, I'm going to take that I was able to answer all the questions you guys have. Again, appreciate that. If you're a snow person, this is exciting. Second time in a month, we're talking about, 8 to 12 inches of snow, getting more snow than Taylor Hamlin in the northern half of the state. It's been the coast and South Jersey's winter so far. If you go to our website, we have a rest of the winter outlook. I'll give you a little tease. We're still in our run of winter, but I do see an early spring here. I'll answer one more question from Edward here. He says, what time is it expected to start? 5 to 8 p.m. on Fridays when it's expected to start here, Edward. So thanks for the question. I appreciate that. All right, we're going to tune it off from here. We have more videos for you on our website. Check that out, pressofac.com/weather. I'll hop back with you guys at some point tomorrow live. I'm going to be in LBI at some point tomorrow. Might do a live from there as well. So just be on the lookout. I'll be somewhere around talking about the snow. And, of course, I'll be with you throughout the event as we go into Saturday. So take care, everybody. Have a great night. Get some rest. We got some exciting weather if you're a snow lover. If you're not a snow lover, not the best, I know. But, look, again, next Thursday, 58 degrees for you there. All right? Take care, everybody. Enjoy.